Mr. Abbott here, another boring diagram explanation. This one is boring diagram number 50. Obviously, this is showing you a U.S. time zone map. It shows you how we keep track of time for locations that are at different longitudes. It would be really inconvenient if your time changed every, 1 or 2 degrees of longitude that you moved. So when you look at this and we talk about time zones, we use the space on the bottom of the map. What we can say that is that time zones are approximately 15 degrees of longitude apart. But to make it more convenient for us, they tend to follow political or geographic boundaries. So they tend to follow geographic boundaries. It would be really inconvenient if part of your city was in one time zone and part of your city was in another. There's a few places in the U.S. where a state will like being part of 2 time zones. So if you look at Florida is over here, has 2 different time zones. Okay, if you look at Idaho, part of Idaho is in the Pacific, but part is in Mountain Time. Here in New York, we're all in one time zone, and you'll see the Eastern time zone, is pretty wide. There's a lot of states in the Eastern time zone. All right, now when we look at this, this is just the United States. We have 4 time zones, but the Earth itself, or the planet, is divided into 24 time zones. Okay, in general, things that you have to remember. If you go east, as you go east, time will increase. As you go west, time will be less. Another way of saying that is going west, time becomes earlier. If you go east, time becomes later. Some students like to write out wheel, W-E-E-L, when they're looking at a problem like this. And if you can, it's always a good idea to start by writing the given time on the map. If they give you a map like this, it's basically caused by Earth's rotation. The rotation rate of the Earth is 15 degrees per hour. So because the Earth rotates from west to east at 15 degrees per hour, every 15 degrees of longitude is a 1-hour time difference. So a couple of sample problems. Let's say we're looking at the map and we know that when you look at San Francisco, in San Francisco, it is 11 a.m. So it's 11 a.m. on the West Coast in San Francisco. What time in New York City? Pretty straightforward problem. 11 a.m. is 11 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to go back to my map. Okay, over here, I'm going to say 11 a.m. San Francisco is in the Pacific time zone, but every point up here in Washington State, it would be 11 a.m. Now, I'm going to be traveling to the east. So east time is going to become later. So 1 hour later would be 12. Central would be 1. And the entire Eastern time frame would be at 2 p.m. So when it's 11 o'clock in LA or San Francisco or anywhere on the West Coast that we're looking at, the time in New York would be 2 p.m. All right, a second problem. Let's say we know it is 3 p.m. in Buffalo. Okay, Now, I'm looking up Buffalo is in the Eastern time zone. Okay. What is the time in Denver? Okay. If they give you the map, you may as well write on it. You can count the time zones going across instead of trying to do it mathematically. So I'm going to go back up to my map. I see that Buffalo is in the Eastern time zone. So for this problem, I'm going to say, okay, in the Eastern time zone, I know it's 3 p.m. in Buffalo. I'm going west, so this would be 2 p.m. and in Denver, it would be 1 p.m. So my answer here is 1 p.m. I hope somebody answered the phone, but I hope you find these problems fairly easy. Thank you. Hope this helps.